This is a story of a young leopard cub from Maasai Mara National Park. His name is Roho. But this is not just a story of an ordinary leopard cub. This is the story of survival of a young cub who faced the wild alone without his mother. A journey of resilience, instinct, and the fight to stay alive. The meaning of Roho in Swahili is the spirit. To truly understand Rogo's story, we have to go back to May 2021. When I first saw him, he was perched high on a tree full of mischief. He would climb up and down, his little paws gripping the bark with playful confidence. And like all young ones, he had a way of keeping his mothers constantly busy. It was a beautiful sight, carefree, innocent, and full of life. Watching him reminded me the joys of my childhood, where the world feels safe as long as mother is near. With these beautiful memories captured on my camera and in my mind, I returned home. The days rolled on, and as the months passed, I found myself longing to return to the Mara. Finally, in November, I set out once again to the Mara, hoping to see Roho. I searched for him in his mother's territory, scanning each and every tree and the bushes. 2 days passed with no sign of him. But then, as luck would have it, I saw him sitting out in the open. This time, he was no longer a tiny furball I had seen him months ago. He had grown, now a cub of 10 to 12 months old, stronger, more independent. I jumped with joy, my heart filled with happiness, and I lifted my camera and I captured some of the most beautiful shots of him, this time as a young warrior of the wild. Life is never a straight road, even for wild animals. And for Rogo, there was a U-turn. One day, I received heartbreaking news from my friend and guide. Lorian, Rogo's mother, had been killed by lions. And there was no sign of the cub. My heart sank. I couldn't stop thinking about Rogo. How would he survive in the wild without his mother? How would he hunt? So many thoughts filled in my mind, each one heavier than the last. The days turned into weeks and uncertainly loomed over Rogo's fate. And then, finally, a glimmer of hope. Roho had been spotted alive. As soon as I heard the news, I didn't hesitate. I packed my bags and the gears and I traveled back to the Maasai Mara once again, hoping to see him with my own eyes. My guide told me that Roho was surviving by hunting small prey like mongoose, hare, or anything he could catch. He was learning to fend for himself, adapting to a life without his mother. We searched tirelessly, scanning the vast savanna, looking for any sign of him. But he was nowhere to be found. And then, on the second day, there he was. In an area we never anticipated. I was overwhelmed with emotions, joy, relief, and even tears. Roho, he looked strong. He looked bold. Against all odds, he made it. Suddenly he picked up speed, moving swiftly in front of us. A few mongooses were in the far distance. We watched as Roho locked his eyes on them. He chased, he caught, and he survived. Watching him that day, I realized something profound. Life is full of uncertainties. We may lose what we once depended on, but survival is about adaptation, about doing what we can with what we have. So, let me close this story with the life lesson I learned from Rogo. Don't always chase behind what you cannot do. Instead, do what you can do.